How's it going? I'm going to do a review today, and it's on the NJORD gear watch. I think I'm saying that right. If I'm not, this is what it is. And this is what you're going to get right here. It's comes in a nice little case. I've actually had it for a little while. The band comes separate than the actual face itself. Comes with some instructions. And then you also get, a thing in here, 25% off. Whatever. Coupon. All right. Now, since that part's done, I'm going to tell you what's really important about this watch, and it really has nothing to do with the watch itself. It actually comes from the fact that my wife ordered me this watch, and it said it was going to be here the next day, and then it said it was going to be here like 2 days later or 3 days later, and by the third day, my wife says, "Hey, I ordered you that watch, and it says it's supposed to be here." And I said, "When did you order it?" And she's like, "Just a few days ago." I'm like, "Well, it takes 2 days just to get across our state, so it's not going to be here within 2-3 days by the time you place your order." Come to find out that it said it was going to come from Canada, then Alaska, and then it finally was going to come from China, is where we ultimate found out where it was going to come from. And I was like, well, if it's coming from China, and this was like a week later, it took 3 weeks to get to us, and it was actually 1 day shy of exactly 3 weeks later we actually got the watch. So that's your first hiccup. So after I get done with this review, if you decide you want this watch, figure 3 weeks, even if you live next door to the factory that actually makes it, because of the fact that it takes 3 weeks to get you the watch. I don't know. That's what it does. The second big problem with this watch, and this is why I wanted to have the watch for a while before I actually did a review, because I didn't want this to be one of those reviews, woohoo, I got a watch and here it is, and it's great and awesome, blah, 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 and and that's all you get, and life goes on, and it's one of those, yeah, everything works kind of thing, but they don't really give you any kind of real information. The next biggest problem that you have, or you will have with the watch, is that they send you with a regular band. It's got the clasp on it and everything like that. Well, part of the problem with this band is that it cracks and actually comes apart. The second problem with this band is the fact that when you put it onto your wrist and you lift this around and you put the other end through there and you go to tighten it up, what happens is it chokes the pudding right out of your wrist. I kid you not. It's like it wants to strangle your wrist. It has one mission in life, and that's to cut the circulation off to your hand. I don't know why. I have never had a watch band ever do that before. This automatically finds the tightest hole that it can get into, and then that little part goes into it, and you can't get it out. You struggle to get it adjusted correctly, and you end up with marks on your arm, and it ends up being a real big pain in the butt. It's garbage. Throw it away. Get rid of it. Here's the other part of it. It broke right in half. It's garbage. Throw it away. You don't want that. See all the little stupid cracks in it? It literally comes right apart. Garbage. Throw it away. You don't want that band. You want this band. It's a magnetic band. I ended up buying this not that long ago. It's flexible. It's magnetic. So it'll stick together. And it works great. You put it on your wrist, it goes around, it tightens up just the right amount. It doesn't choke the pudding out of your hand. It's not trying to cut your hand off by choking the pudding out of it and cutting off circulation so your hand's all like, ooh, you know what I'm saying? That's not what you want. You want a good band. Get a magnetic band. I tell you, when you have one of these, you're going to like it. And I'm not being sponsored by this. I wish I was, because this is a great band and I really like it. All you have to do is make sure you measure between the points. Make sure you measure that really carefully. It's in millimeters, or the ones I found are. So make sure you measure that correctly and look at it closely, because if you order it and it'll go on there, you're going to like this band. It comes in 2 colors. On one side, on the other, you can flip it around, whatever. I just have it like this, mostly because you got that little thing that sticks out there. And, I just don't want to look at that personally. And besides, this is black. The watch is black, so it matches and it works out perfect. So if you want a good band, there you go. Get a magnetic band. If you're ordering this watch, or if you're not ordering this watch, you're ordering a different watch, get a magnetic band. You're going to like it. I guarantee it. All right, now to get to the watch itself. So far, I really don't have any real good complaints about the watch, and I'll tell you what it should have that it doesn't have that I wish it would have. But before I get to that, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the watch itself. Everything that it advertises that it does, tracks your sleep, tracks your walking, tracks your mileage, tracks your heart rate. It does all that. It does exactly what's advertised. Now, it doesn't do everything automatically, even though you can check everything. Your blood pressure, your blood oxygen level, which I happen to personally have a problem with at night. My blood oxygen level goes down low, and that's one of the reasons why I got the watch in the first place. The bad news about that is it doesn't do it automatically. It'll track your steps automatically. You can sleep, and it'll do a sleep test thing, so it tracks your sleep automatically, right? You can check your heart rate, but it also checks your heart rate and runs that automatically, so you actually get a scale or a thing. It's not a heartbeat thing. It does, though, tell you your heart rhythm, and you can actually slide the little thing across, little meter, and it'll actually tell you where your heart goes up, where it comes down, if you're sitting there at a rest. Sometimes my heart, and I don't know if this is a personal problem, or if everybody has this going on or what, but I've noticed that if I'm just sitting and relaxing, sometimes my heart will jump up for 2, 3, 4 minutes and then jump right back down. So it'll go from 60 beats per minute, 65 or whatever I'm usually in my rest at, and it'll jump up to 125 or whatever for sometimes up to a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Sometimes in the middle of the night does that. So I don't know if that's something I need to be curious about, careful about or something. So if you know something about that, drop me a message and let me know that I need to go check that out or what it is or what I should do about it. That brings me to the next thing that this watch should do that it doesn't do, and that is do like an EKG. Smartwatches, some of them, you can touch your hand to the side of it and hold your finger on the side of it while it's doing a test, and it'll do an EKG reading, and it'll tell you what your heart's doing, the different rhythms and all that stuff. And that would be nice if this watch did that. This does not do that. Another thing that it should do that it doesn't do is when your blood oxygen level, it should be able to have a thing just like every setting on here should have this option, is to turn it on and it'll check it every so many minutes. I get the fact that your blood oxygen level, they should be able to monitor that and not have to press a button. Because when you have to press a button, I got to be awake to do that, right? I have to wake up. And my blood oxygen level dips low when I'm sleeping. And when you're waking up, you take a deeper breath, you bring oxygen into your system, so when you check it on your watch, of course it's going to be higher than what it was when you were sleeping. So that's a problem. That should be adjusted and fixed, and that probably is just done in the app. Now, I can't show you the app because I'm actually filming on my phone, so that's a problem all in itself, but nevertheless, you can press a button. It's got all kinds of different things here. I have it set on this. You can go up. It's got different things for that, different things. You go, I guess that was down. If you go up, it's your emails or your, text messages is what I'm trying to get out of my mouth that I can't say. If you tap it, it actually shows it. Now, I've heard people say, well, all you get is a few lines, but if you scroll, if you happen to have a long text message, you can scroll, and this happens to just be, it does go up. So if you look really closely, you'll see that it actually changes. It changes the thing. So all you have to do is scroll on it, okay? And you can get your whole text message no matter how long it is. And then you just press the button again, turns off, turns on, and if you swipe, get me in the camera, stop being an idiot, it'll go over and you have all your different things. Here's your, check your heart rhythm, you got one for sleep, stress, blood oxygen level, and so on, okay? The plus, you tap that, it brings you to some other functions. Now the faces on here, you can actually hold the thing, just press on the screen, hold it, and it'll go down, and you got so many, and of course, you can change them like that, okay? And there's a there's 5, 6 of them or whatever in there, and you can change them. And then when you get back to the one that you want, you can either tap it or you can just press the button on the side and stuff. Now in your app, you can also, there's a whole list of them in there. So you get so many, 5, 6 of them or whatever on the watch itself, and then you can take and transfer from the app to your watch like I did, and you can have a bunch of different ones. There's another, 25, 50 or whatever in there. I don't know how many for sure. But it does check a lot of different things. What I can tell you is this watch is durable, except for the band, the junky one that I threw out. That is not a band you want, but as far as the actual watch itself, this part, this is durable. I have fallen, hit it on cement, it goes in water. I've had all kinds of damage that should have happened to this watch that didn't happen to it. It's just as smooth, and you might not be able to tell from the screen watching it on there. Try to get a little reflection for you. There's no marks on it or anything like that, and there has been a lot of stuff either stuck to it or hit it or bounced off from it, or I have hit it on the walls, concrete, when I've fallen and that kind of stuff. So this is really durable. Can I absolutely say that it's 100% durable? Trust me, nothing is 100% durable. But as far as regular wear and tear, you're not going to have a problem with it. If you work in a machine shop, a welding shop, or anything like that, anything is as good as you take care of it, obviously. But for the most part, this is a pretty durable watch, except for the band, like I said before, and I'll keep repeating myself on that band. Another nice thing about a magnetic band that you might want to think about is if you do work in a machine shop around trucks, cars, a mechanic, or anything like that, this will pop off your wrist before your hand gets sucked into a machine. So especially if you're working around some kind of dangerous machines or potentially dangerous machines, you should have a magnetic band because your watch will pop off your wrist if it gets caught versus suck your hand in. And people, unfortunately, have been in some really bad accidents because their watch won't detach from their wrist. So you're working around any kind of machines, get the band. You're going to really, really like this band. Again, I keep talking about it. I'm sorry. I just really like this band. So there you go. That's the best review I can give you. The watch, for the most part, is great, except for the fact that it should have a couple of extra functions and the automatic abilities, right? So it checks it automatically, and you don't actually have to press a button to do it. Another nice thing that this watch has is you don't have a monthly bill. There's nothing worse than, I think anyways, if you go and you buy a watch for $200-300 and then the next thing you know, you're spending $25 a month to access the information off from the watch. That to me is a problem. This does not have a contract. You do not need anything but the app. You download that and everything gets transferred back and forth. That brings me to the next thing I almost forgot, is that if you disconnect, I've seen some people have problems with their watch not staying connected to their phones. If you have a good phone and good connection, it stays connected. I don't think I've ever had this disconnect from the phone, and if it has, it's been, once or twice in the last year or 2 years or whatever I've had this watch. So that's definitely something. Also, if you have this disconnected from the Wi-Fi from your phone, let's say you're doing something and you need to have it because you get sound through this. So if you're listening to music or whatever, the sound will come through your watch. So if you didn't want that and you wanted to come through your phone, you disconnect the Wi-Fi. You forget to hook up the Wi-Fi and it's a day or two later. This holds 2 days roughly, variance on what you're doing and stuff, of course, I'm sure. But I have found roughly 2 days worth of information before it starts booting it off. So think of it as a list. As new information comes on, you got a list this long, right? And you got new information coming on. The old information, after so much information starts dropping off and disappearing. to add new information. It will only hold so much information. So this holds about 2 days worth of information. So if you do not have it connected to your phone, you have to connect it to your phone at least every 2 days. And then you'll download all the information off of your watch onto your phone, and then you're good to go and you won't lose any information. So that's kind of good to know. So if you accidentally are like, oh, I forgot to turn back on my Wi-Fi and it's been, I'm tracking my steps or whatever, right? Or your sleep, right? And you're like, man, I forgot to do my Wi-Fi. It's still tracked and it's still on your watch. You just have to turn on your Wi-Fi. You just have to remember to do it every 2 days by the latest. You might run some tests and find out the length of time for you that it would be, but generally I make sure my Wi-Fi is on every other day for sure, but a lot of times it's on all the time. But sometimes when I'm watching a show on TV or on my phone or something like that, listening to something, I want it on that speaker instead of this speaker. And so there you go. You can also answer phone calls on this. It's not that great with the phone calls. It sounds like you're far, far, far away from the phone, like your voice is, you're over the kind of a thing when you're talking using your watch. However, it is doable. It is nice. Distance-wise, this actually works out really nice. As far as distance-wise, I have accidentally left my phone in the house and had to go outside and been fairly far, roughly a half acre to an acre away from my phone and still be able to get calls and messages on my watch. It still connects. So distance-wise, it's really, really decent and really, really good. So that's definitely a plus. It also has find your phone or find your watch thing. So you can do it from your phone to your watch if your Wi-Fi is connected. Now, if your Wi-Fi is not connected, then you got a problem. But if your Wi-Fi is connected, then you can find your watch. But usually I lose my phone. My watch is usually on my arm. So that's definitely a plus. If you're somebody that loses your watch or loses your phone, you can do it through your watch and find your phone through your watch, or you can find your phone through there, and it's actually that button right there, and that's some of the buttons there. Let's see. If you do the bottom button, you got all these different things. So there's a lot of different functions that this watch will do. Just tons of different things, from messaging to phone calls, calculator, so it does have a lot of different things. Start heart rate, of course. So there's a lot of different things. So if you're looking for a watch that'll connect to your phone and you don't have to have a monthly payment, this could be a watch for you. It is durable. Get the magnetic band with it. This actually, I ordered it separately. It wasn't even for this watch. I just made sure the measurements are right. This one is 22 millimeters, and I just ordered it off of Amazon, got it, and it works just fine. I really, really like this band. It, if you put it on, make sure I'm putting it on correctly. If you put it on, it's actually really easy to do, and the magnets, just takes me a minute. Let's make a liar out of me so that it's not on. See, now it's still loose. So here we go. Now I got to do it this way. There we go. It's better. So there you go. It's really nice to put on. It's not going to come off. It's nice and smooth. You don't have that buckle going into your wrist. So, and having it magnetized like this is just super nice, super convenient. So you definitely want that band. Don't use the band that comes with it because it's junk, garbage. Throw it out. Get yourself a magnetic band. Don't forget. And remember, it's going to take 3 weeks minimum to get to you. So don't be surprised if you don't get it right away, or if it says it's already been delivered, because that's what happened to us. Well, it's already been delivered. No, it hasn't. We haven't gotten it. and it comes through the mail, or at least for us it did. It didn't come UPS or anything like that. It came through the regular mail is how we got it. So just remember that. That's the box that it came in. Again, it's not super big, but that's what it is. If you need to pause or take, it's actually upside down because, you know, that's the way I roll apparently. So there you go. If you need to pause it and you want to zoom in on the back and read any of that, go ahead. And then again, this is the front. So like if you need to read any of the stuff or anything on the back, go ahead, pause it, zoom in on it so you can read any specs that you want to read and stuff like that. But there you go. That's the best review I can give you. If this doesn't convince you that you want this watch, then, and there's better watches, by the way. Listen, this is an old watch compared to what they have today. So if you like this review, the watch that they have now is the same watch, but upgraded, like a 2.0 kind of a deal, right? So it's the same type of watch. It just probably has better functions and a few other things and some upgrades to it, which I don't have. I have this watch, so doing this review so late is beneficial because it's a good review, but probably bad because they have a new watch, and that's a heck of a lot better. So there you go. A month. Don't forget, a month. It's going to take a month to get to you. So have a great day. Hopefully this helps, and if it doesn't, sorry. I did the best I can. So have a great day.